You're live, and this is the aaronzero show with another edition of Today's Noise. And what do we have in the noise today? Well, the latest from the Bangladesh India relations is it doesn't seem to be so good. Bangladesh was supposed to send its prime minister to meet Mr. Modi, but apparently he doesn't have the time. And he doesn't even have the time for the BRICS meeting, which is going to be held in New Delhi in September. It is a strange set of circumstances, and I think Bangladesh is trying to force India's hand to make India give up Sheikh Hasina, the exiled prime minister of Bangladesh, who certain faces the death penalty in Bangladesh. But there are more reasons. Apparently, Bangladesh feels it has many cards to play, not being the least the Chinese card. Chinese are investing heavily in Bangladesh and also giving them defense support, material support. The Tista water support there, and a port in Bangladesh called Mongla is also going to be done by the Chinese. So much for cooperation. But now the latest on the horizon is the Mecca deal between Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and Turkey, which is not aimed at anyone. These are three Muslim countries which have signed a NATO like treaty. If you attack one of us, then the others will come and attack you. But of course, they say it is not like that. And Bangladesh hopes to probably join that agreement too. So it is a form of Muslim alignment and probably extremist alignment, if I might say so. That is what is going on. Instead of recognizing the neighbor that you have just next door to you has been there, your neighbor, for thousands of years, and your country itself was a part of India. Apparently, the Bangladesh government does not recognize that, wool over their eyes. Well, that is the state of affairs there. In other news, the student protests are going on in Jharkhand, etc., and they want the exams to be redone. And the CJP party, the Cockroach Party, is going countrywide with a school tea karo initiative where they want all the government schools to be made good, as in having proper benches and chairs and washroom facilities, etc., for the kids there, and probably food also, which is a good thing to put the authorities on notice and hold the government accountable, so to speak. So that is a new wave of accountability that is there. And so, of course, people in other sectors are also trying to wake up the government to their demands. And one such is the E20 problem, where they don't want the ethanol in their petrol. They would rather have 100% petrol and pollute the rest of us till we choke to death. That is their feeling. Anyway, ethanol has been very successful in Brazil, and the country is not uh, using diesel or petrol to that extent that we are, and are heavily dependent upon it. In the Hormuz situation or the Iran America conflict, Mr. Trump is saying that he's going to give Iran economic strangulation, so to speak, and that is what he's trying. Will he succeed? Who knows? And Iran already has its main backers in China and Russia, and it can do trade with those countries. And we'll see how that gets stopped. And in the Ukraine Russia sector, the bombs and drones keep on going. Latest is that Russia has made a jet drone which goes very fast and can escape detection. And 5 years of war, and nobody has come to their senses that it is quite useless and only brings horror and death and discomfort to the civilian populations. This is because of the selfishness of the leaders concerned. Israel is going on with its settlement of Jewish people in unauthorized areas. That is their plan to have a greater Israel. So they're doing that against international law and international opinion. On the Bollywood front, we have interesting reminiscences from Zenat Aman, one of yesterday's stars of the Hare Krishna, Hare Rama uh, movie, iconic movie by star actor Devanand, who himself acted in over 118 movies, was an icon beyond before his time in all that he did, and he launched several actresses in his movies, Zeenat Aman being one of them, Tina Munim being another. And this lady, Zeenat Aman, is now looking back, and she is age 75, and she says she doesn't care. She she feels that aging is a plus; it's not a minus, regardless of what Gen Z might say. Because in Gen Z, of course, anybody who is over the age of 30 is old. So that's the way Gen Z looks at it. And their heroes will be completely different from what were our heroes of our time. And that's the way it works in every generation. But it's interesting to see her viewpoints. She says today's stars have a lot on their hands. Besides trying to work out their talent, they have to handle social media. Of course, there's the whole internet thing, whether somebody likes you or doesn't like you or whatever. And actors are constantly doing these sort of publicity rounds on the internet or whatever, which was never the case earlier when there was no internet. And as she very rightly says, in the olden days or the older days, I'm talking of 1970s, uh, an actor or actress had an aura of mystery about them because you could only see them either in a magazine cover or in one television show or something, and the TV channels, there were only two or three of them at that time. So the sense of mystery for an actor or actress was very much there. Today, where you have 100 million channels and actors and actresses are inviting you to your home and they're having large interviews where millions of people can go into depth into their homes, the romance of that mystery is lost totally. And that is where I totally agree with her because these are internet times, these are cell phone times where at the touch of a button you have the information that you want and you can be so nosy into somebody's life and there's very little left private. And on that note, I forgot to mention that um, the Dukes of Sussex are going to be moving back to England, merry old England. That is Harry and Meghan, who bought a $14.6 million house in California in the beautiful area of Montecito. Apparently, they want to go and live in damp and cold London. And apparently, Harry had a good meeting with his father, King Charles, in July. And so the whole family, lock, stock, and barrel, is moving to England and the kids are going to continue school there. So who would have thought that? Um, because I thought that Harry loved California and was going to be there forever. But who knows? Maybe I'm talking too soon. On that note, we leave you. Subscribe by the billion and thank you for watching.